So, I want to do my first video in this series talking about goofy logic, right? My first one, because there's a lot of euphemisms and idioms that people use, like when they're talking about dating relationships, that sound good on the surface, but it's really some bullshit, right? It's really some bullshit. So, this first one is this: why buy the cow if the milk is free? Now, I'm going to break down the mindset behind this particular phrase. Why buy the cow if the milk is free? One, this is the mindset of a man who views a woman who has intrinsic sexual desire or sexual attraction to him as if she's automatically some type of whore, right? But if you have to pay to get the milk, doesn't that make her a whore? Right? No, listen, like, do y'all hear how goofy you fucking sound when you say shit like this? Right? You sound dumb as hell. Like, understand. Just because you had to pay for the milk doesn't mean someone else had to pay for the milk. And just because you didn't have to pay for the milk didn't mean somebody else didn't have to pay for the milk. Only buy a cow if the milk is free, the milk is good, you like the cow, you get along well with the cow, and then you feel like, okay, this cow knows how to, this cow knows how to follow good instructions. This is a good cow. You know what? I would like to make some more cows and some more bulls with this cow. See, that's your mindset right there. Only buy a cow if the milk is free. Because if the milk is not free, how you gonna know if the milk is good to you? How you gonna know if it agrees with you, right? How you gonna know if that cow is gonna be someone who you can actually work with, right? Who can actually get some shit done with? You're not gonna know. You're taking a shot in the dark because you looked at a cow and said, you know what, this cow right here looks so attractive that I just want to buy it. And you ain't even try to milk. You stupid. I'm sorry. It's just like, for me, when I hear certain things, it just sounds goofy as hell. I'm going to tell you what part of it is. A lot of men have no masculinity, no dominance within themselves, right? And what I mean by that is a lot of these dudes is real feminine or they're real submissive. It's one of the two. It may be both, right? Maybe both. Well, I'm going to say it's really, they're either feminine or submissive. They're not both. Because if you're feminine and submissive, at least you're in alignment. At least you're in alignment to where you'll do whatever the cow wants you to do, and then they give you some milk when they want to, right? But this is what you got to understand. What these men want to do is they want to use sex as something to encourage them and motivate them to get to a place in life, right? Instead of having the balls, instead of having the backbone, instead of having the self-respect, the intrinsic motivation to put themselves in a position where they want to grow. So they try to use the idea of female perfection, right? Of feminine perfection through a Madonna whore complex to get a woman who is going to make them work for sex, make them pay for sex, make them do all of these different things, which a woman can't make you do shit. And then you want a woman to do all of this, and you want to believe that because she made you do that, that she's doing that for everybody else. And it don't work like that. I see dudes putting women on all kind of pedestals because of their beauty, and oftentimes those beauties are based on Eurocentric beauty standards to where, like, and I'm not even saying this to be no type of bigot or no shit like that, but a lot of these women that dudes are so attracted to, it's like they have all this weave on, all this makeup on, they a lot of times, and listen, slim women can be beautiful too, but your thing is you want a woman who has 0 kids, who's slim, but damn near no body on her, got fake hair, right? She's got a bunch of makeup caked up, probably looks like she has some type of work done, and you're telling me that this type of woman right here is not somebody who, if somebody came up to you and said that was a trans man, that you wouldn't believe him, right? Hey, if there's people out there who like that, you like that. But I'm talking about people who want to deal with women who you can have kids with one day. Real shit. Real shit. You got to understand how goofy that shit is. So I'm looking at these things from a perspective of, you're talking about why buy the cow if you get the milk for free. I'm like, why are you paying for cows when milk is free? If the cow like you, the milk is free. the cow's attracted to you, that milk is free. Because guess what? Cows enjoy giving milk. And some people gonna have an issue with calling women cows. Women be calling men dogs all the time. We get called a whole bunch of different things. It don't matter. This is a fucking analogy. So if you're a woman who thinks like this too, get off my page. I don't care what you think, right? But what I'm saying is this right here. It's like men have to stop looking at women from this Madonna whore complex, thinking that a woman doesn't have intrinsic sexual desire within herself, and that there aren't men out there who she's willing to act on that with. And then wanting to put a woman in a box of not being a purely sexual being, and then acting surprised when this woman who he tries to have transactional sex has free sex with somebody else. That's goofy. Be a man. Grab your nuts. If you don't want to be in no relationship, don't be in one, right? If a relationship is something that you desire, then do that. But stop trying to use sex with women as something to motivate yourself to get in a relationship with a woman, right? Now, there's a difference between wanting to check for compatibility, wanting to see if you have chemistry, wanting to make sure that there is mutual sexual attraction there. That's different than saying, okay, yeah, if you have sex with me, I'll be your boyfriend. That's goofy too. Right? It's goofy as hell. And I hope these men start to understand that. Like, that transactional sex mentality is dead, bro. It's outdated. And yeah, you can do it. Yeah, you can. You're not getting the best out of that woman sexually when you have transactional sex with her. There are some rare instances, but for the most part, you're not getting the best out of her. And if you think that paying money is how you get the most femininity and submissiveness out of a woman, you goofy as hell. I remember seeing this post by Kevin Samuels, because he kind of pushed this narrative some. And I seen this post by Kevin Samuels talking about there's men out here who don't want to pay 100% of the bills, but they want full femininity and submissiveness. They want full cooperation. I'm like, these niggas don't know the difference between cooperation and submissiveness. They don't know. A lot of these dudes are panderers, man. A lot of people are panderers. You got to know the difference between somebody who's pandering and someone who's trying to tell you the truth. And you know what? And there's different aspects of truth. There's different ways of looking at relationships and situations. And people have their different mindsets. Maybe Kevin Samuel's mindset is that in order for black men to grow collectively, we need to get our money up. And that's true. We do need to get our money up. But the family structure is probably even more important than that. And having this Madonna whore complex and pushing that on the women, it's like, you wonder why the nigga 40, damn near 50 something years old, I don't know how old the nigga is, and he ain't got no wife. Probably not lonely, but you see him on here like sipping for some women. Like, listen, I ain't going in on the dude, because I really respect a lot of his life advice for men. It's just his mindset towards women is just super transactional in a way that is not necessary if a woman's actually attracted to you. It's trying to provide a bunch of feminine things, trying to be submissive with the woman, right? As in letting her be in control or giving her resources in a way to where expecting that if you invest in a woman, that she'll be submissive with you because of that. It don't work like that, right? If you're transactional for sex, anything that you trade for sex will eventually be used against you. And if it's not used against you, and you used what you are transactional for sex with against the woman, then she could say that you coerced her, or you raped her, or you abused her, or you manipulated her. No matter what you use for sex, it'll eventually be used against you, even if you're the one who knows how to use it against the other person. Understand that. So then when you working that way, the only way you can really get by is to just use women and throw them out. Because you know that if you stay in that situation too long, eventually that shit gonna come back to haunt you. So if you're gonna be transactional, you might as well get your nut and get up out of there. But this is just something I want these dudes to understand. Like, stop being goofy, right? Stop being goofy. You should know, right? And this is gonna lead me into my next video. This is gonna be my next one. All right. So y'all need to stay tuned to that one. What do you bring to the table? It's Brody. I'm out.